Okay, so this is the Monday Morning Podcast, everybody. Did you watch some fucking sports? How about them Celtics? The fucking Saints kid. They tied it up. What'd I say? Yeah, I did. I fucking said it. Oh, yeah, fuck. You're such a fucking cunt, dude. The fucking Celtics tied it up. Holy shit. Amazing. I got to tell you something right now. I have the utmost respect for fans of the NBA. It is the most fucked up, nerve-wracking game. I can't even explain it. No team can go up by 20 points and fucking hold the lead. They just can't do it. Up by 24, and all of a sudden Stern calls the refs. The fuck you guys doing? The rule is 15 points, 15 or more. And then they just start tweet, foul away from the ball. And I've never watched this sport where you hear the announcers review a call like 6 times a game. They go, I don't know what he was looking at there. Anyways, Rondo pushes the ball up court, you know. How many fucking times? It's the most frustrating sport I've ever watched in my life. When the Celtics were up by like 15 or whatever. Scored 61 in the first half, and then all of a sudden you scored 28 in the second half. It's like, what is going on with that? That doesn't make any sense to me. Like when a pitcher comes out and he's on and he's got his stuff, he has his stuff. He doesn't like pitch lights out for 4 innings and then like let up like 19 fucking home runs. Doesn't happen. This fucking NBA, they said they're up by 24 points. And then all of a sudden, they can't get a call, they can't get a bucket, and all of a sudden they say, it's a fucking 4-point nail-biter. We were up by 24 points after 3 quarters, game 3. 24. If you score 24 points, that's a solid quarter worth of fucking points. And somehow it went down to being like an 8-point game, and I was just losing my shit. And the more I was watching it, I was just convinced that it's manipulated by the refs. I don't give a fuck what you say. There's no other official that has more power than an NBA referee. They can kick people out of the fucking game. Okay, you can call intentional grounding on Peyton Manning. You can call, some bullshit forward lateral or some crap, but you can't kick Tom Brady out of the goddamn game unless he throws a punch. You know what I mean? I guess you can. He can verbally abuse you or touch the rim, but he has to do something. But in basketball, you can just call phantom fouls. Like if I bet the game, this is all you got to do. Who's the best player on that team? This is what you do. Right out of the gate, you give him 2 quick fouls. Now he's on the fucking bench, probably for the rest of the first quarter. He comes out in the second quarter. Now you got to give him his third, but you got to wait a few minutes. However the game's going, you wait a few minutes, then you give him his third. All right? So-and-so's in foul trouble. Third quarter starts, he's on the fucking bench. And now you want the other team to make a run. The fucko comes off the bench. You give him his 4th. Tee him up, maybe. Couple of technicals there. I watched that game yesterday. It goes into overtime. It's a playoff game. Paul Pierce fouls out. LeBron James fouls out. 2 fucking best guys out there, arguably. And they're sitting on the bench. You don't watch hockey and all of a sudden fucking, whoever you want to call. Who the fuck's even in the finals now? Eliash, Zach Parise, however the fuck you say their names. I hate the Devils. I never watch them. Oh, that's his 3rd fucking cross-check. That's it. He's out of the game. And like Gretzky and Lemieux are just sitting there on the bench, fouled out. And then like the scrubs come in and they can't hit fucking free throws. It's unbelievably frustrating. Frustrating fucking game to watch. But we're tied up. So, did that make any goddamn sense? If you guys ever watch those YouTube videos when you see, when you see what's his face, when you see that whole Sacramento series, Sacramento Kings that was against the LA Lakers, the 2002 series that was allegedly fixed. You saw right there how to fix a game. They just fouled out both their centers on bullshit fucking calls. And then you just let Shaq run wild. And they still almost lost the game. I don't know, man. You know what it is? I'm so sick of people, like, being a hockey fan Unless you run into another hockey fan. It's the weirdest sport to be a fan of because people just shit all over. Well, why do they let them fight? I can't see the puck. And after watching the NBA for like the last 3 weeks, it's like, why don't you worry about the mobbed up refs in your league? You know, I think the NBA is basic. It's a pure game. It's a beautiful game. But it's basically a traveling gambling ring as far as I can tell. The players gamble with each other. They get into fist fights on planes. They bring guns to the fucking arena. You had a mobbed up ref, you know, and then they pulled the Lee Harvey Oswald. He acted alone. Horse shit, right? You have the biggest star of the game has to mysteriously just retires for a year and a half. And then one of his loved ones essentially is murdered like execution style. Like there's a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit going on. So why don't you go fuck yourselves with your criticisms of hockey, okay? I can recognize NBA is a great game, but your league, it's a little fucked up. And as far as you guys who can't see the puck, why don't you start by looking at the guy that everybody seems to be focused on, all right? That's usually the guy with the puck, the black object against the white surface that you for some reason can't see. Here's an email from somebody talking about NBA refs, because I was not convinced that the NBA is fixed, or at the very least manipulated. You know? Oh, my God. The lottery? Are you serious? The lottery? The Knicks win the first one ever? Because you want Patrick Ewing to go to New York City? Of course. Absolutely. The foul away from the ball. I don't know what he was looking at there. NBA refs. Bill, saw your tweet about NBA refs and how they are in it for the money. Well, it's the truth. This guy's claiming that this is the truth. This is all alleged before I get sued by a conglomerate of those Foot Locker jackasses. I'm friends with the daughter of one of the top paid refs in the league. I just went to her wedding on Friday night, and there were 2 tables of NBA refs there. No lie. I can provide pics for verification. I don't want any pictures. Don't send me any pictures. I don't want to rat anybody out here. I just think it's hilarious. Anyway, I know that referees get paid $10,000 per game for the NBA Finals. So if the series gets swept, it's $40,000. But if it goes to 7 games, that's a difference of $30,000. I work in finance, and that's a lot of coin for an extra 3 days of work. Plus, the network gets more money from advertisers, etc. Although a sport, it's a major business. I don't know what that sentence means. Former ref Tim Donaghy got busted for gambling on games a while back and wrote a book about it. This is my favorite thing. They say that guy has no credibility. You know, that's what they said about Jose Canseco when he first came out and, you know, was ratting everybody out. Like, oh, he's old, he's bitter, he's turned his back on baseball. Wait a minute, he's right. Oh, sorry about that. You know? Plus, if you say he has no credibility, then you have to, like, let 80% of people out of prison because that's how they ended up in prison. The person they did the crime with was negotiating their fucking sentence down, and they ratted him out. Right? I don't know. I think the NBA is filthy. You know, Pete Rose bets on baseball. He's banned from baseball for life. Jordan bets on it. He gets to go play baseball. Allegedly. Former ref Tim Donaghy got busted for gambling on games a while back and wrote a book about it. The guy is from the same neighborhood as I am, and we know some of the same people. The guy who does my homeowner's insurance was named as a gambling partner in the first chapter. It's eye-opening of how shady the business is and how refs can cheat so easily to fix the outcome of a game, according to Tim Donaghy. This is all alleged, people, all alleged. Philadelphia is a hotbed for NBA refs, and I actually went to high school with an active NBA ref who was also at the above-mentioned wedding. Love the podcast, but just started listening a few months ago. How could I download the podcast? Dude, you didn't really say anything. You just said you went to a wedding with some NBA refs. So you know how much they make a game. But you didn't really provide any. That's all circumstantial. I don't know. It just seems so filthy. Like, they call, like, when they call those ticky-tack fouls, I'm telling you, they're thinking ahead in the game. Is how I look at it. Like, I get Paul Pierce fouls out, but like those bullshit ticky-tack fouls that you call on him in the beginning of the game is how he ends up fouling out in the end when he actually fouls somebody. So I don't know. I don't get it. I'm sitting there watching this. We got a 15-point lead, and then all of a sudden, within a minute, Paul Pierce and Rondo both pick up their fourth fouls, have to sit down, and next thing you know, it's a game again. You know? So I don't know that they necessarily... This is the feeling that I have when I watch the NBA. I feel like somewhere around 14, 15-point lead in the playoffs. That's when all of a sudden, you know, calls start going the other way because they don't want people to turn the channels. At the end of the fucking day, it's a business. They keep it close. Just keep it close. That's what they're doing. I don't know. I'm an asshole. Don't listen to me. But I 100%. It just wouldn't surprise me. If somebody came out and they actually found out that like 18%, that's a little high. I'd say 11% of NBA games are strongly manipulated. I would be surprised that it wasn't more like 18%. Because when I just watch them, it's just like, how many times can they just be like, there's like no foul. And that shit, I know I talked about it last week, but Kobe hacks a guy across both fucking arms. They call him for his third foul in the second quarter. You know he's going to sit down. That's going to affect the casual fan watching. They have a 90-second meeting, and then they give the foul to somebody else. I mean, that's a business move. Right fucking there. And then the announcers, well, I don't know what they were looking at there. All right, Kobe bringing it up the court. It's fucking nuts. Shooting the front end of a 1-and-1. There's a foul away from the ball. Jeez, what was he looking at? I don't know. Must have been something before the video.